There's nothing typical about Chuck Zito. Nothing. The guy is a one of a kind.
He's a very special guy.
Very outgoing.
There ain't nobody on this planet like him. He walks the walk.
Great personality.
They just don't make him like that no more.
He's funny.
Everybody gets out of the way.
Respected by La Cosa Nostra, the Hells Angels, hip hop.
He looked like Elvis, wearing fringe, red, white, and blue. And I'm going, where's this fucking guy comes from another planet?
Chuck is one of the best guys out there.
But there's also another side to him. And you don't visit that neighborhood.
32-year-old Charles Zito and 34-year-old Herbert Kittle have been the subjects of a nationwide search for more than 2 months. Both are members of the New York chapter of the Hells Angels and are wanted by the FBI on drug charges.
Riding with Chuck is like he stole the motorcycle. He rhymes hard.
You meet a guy, you can tell that he's real. You know, it's the way they stand.
I think Chuck is too intimidated by that many situations.
Chuck kicked him about 37, 38 times, and I said, Chuck, you're killing him.
I mean, let's face it, they love bad boys, and he is the definitive bad boy.
I didn't know the son of a bitch could read. So I don't want the world to know that. It's pretty iffy.
He told me if my name was Pamela Zito, nothing bad would ever happen to me.
Oh, what's in the future? Well, if I had a crystal ball, I could tell you, but...
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Vinny Presents. I'm very, very happy today to introduce to you a wonderful person here. He's a filmmaker, director, and fellow paisan, I might say, as well. Welcome to the show, Dominique Milano. Ciao, come stai, and welcome.
Ciao, come va? Tutto bene? Grazie per avermi. I'm saying thank you very much for having me. I'm very honored to be on your podcast.
The honor is mine. It's a pleasure. I'm a fan of yours, and I'm excited to hear everything about yourself. So without further ado, Dominique, please tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so first of all, thank you very much again for having me here. I'm basically a passionate filmmaker. I'm also an IT engineer, kind of have dual career here, and very passionate about film. And somehow, you know, while I was doing project, I became good friend with Michael Madsen, and doing a photo shoot for him. I was doing a behind the scene for his photo shoot. He was doing a photo shoot on guns and cars, guns and cars. And I was doing the behind the scene. I start talking to him, you know, I say, oh man, it'll be fun to have a documentary about yourself. And then somehow he accepted to do it. So I started doing documentaries, and I did documentaries on Michael Madsen, which led to the documentary on Chuck Zito. Kind of took years to get there, but that's pretty much how this connected together.
Well, two fantastic personalities. I mean, everybody is familiar with these two gentlemen, and I'm a big fan of both of theirs. And I love to follow them on social media. And with social media, the beauty of now we're able to really grab an audience. We're able to put our art out there, and we're able to connect just like you and I have, and how we're doing right now, actually. So how do you see the business has changed maybe over the years, right?
Well, you know, with the technology now, filmmakers have more advantages that they didn't have before. I started doing film using film cameras, and the budgets were so small that we could only do shorts and maybe small films. With now the technology of digital, you can now do feature films for really a fairly low amount of money. So basically it opened up the field to a lot of people like myself and other filmmakers to actually have an opportunity to you know, do films and to do what their passion is about and pursue it. So yeah, but on the other hand, there's a lot of more competition now. When you go to a film festival, instead of having like maybe let's say 30 or 40 or 50 films, you have about 50,000 films. Because, you know, everybody can pick up a camera now and call himself a director. Not saying that's a wrong thing or a bad thing, but basically the technology opened up the field to a lot of people. So the competition get bigger.
Yeah, I see that. I speak to a lot of filmmakers and directors, and I realize that it's hard to really enjoy your art when you're confronted with the commercial issues that we face. Because not only it's not only about what you want to do or an expression of what you really love, but it's also, is it going to be a commercial success? Does it fit into those parameters? And then, like you said, you have all this competition, and some are experienced, and most aren't. So it's a crazy, chaotic world.
It's definitely hard, and the hardest part is the distribution, because once you complete your project, you got to find a distributor to take your project on, and that's another animal to, it's a very, very complicated task. You have to be well connected with certain people. You have to make sure your product is ready for distribution. I've learned a lot of things doing those documentaries that, people are telling me, hey man, that's a good documentary, but you have the right to use that. You have the right to do this, there's all this legal aspect. You start learning about attorneys and paperwork. And so making the film is the first battle. Then the second battle starts with the distribution. And then the third battle is, are you going to make money with what you're making? So yeah, you have to be passionate, and you have to be also very, very, true. You have to really, really work hard throughout the process. From start to finish. Making the film is only one part of the whole thing, unfortunately.
Right, and those distributors, they want clean delivery. They want to make sure everything's proper.
And they also have to take your product, which is hard because, again, with the competition now, distributor, would have, it would be less product to deal with. Now, when distributor receives 500 movies, it's going to be hard for the distributor to pick, to really work hard and pick the one they want. So again, it's good that the digital world exists, but on the other hand, the downside is a lot of product out there, and it's a crazy process, to say the least.
Now, you were at the Beverly Hills Film Festival, I believe, correct?
Yes.
Tell us how that was.
We were very honored to be there. It was actually a good festival to be, first of all, because it's here close by where we live. So that was easier, no travel. Last time we did a festival, we had to travel to Brussels, which was fun to do. But, distributor will only pay for the hotel and amenities and all that, didn't pay for the air ticket. So only me and one guy could go. But this one was easier, it was here. Very, very good festival, very, very well organized, I would say. Chinese theater, which is iconic. And we had the honor to be on the opening night. So Chuck Zito was on the opening night, and it was actually, we didn't expect such a turnaround. We only had a 250 seats theater, and we ended up having like 50 people who couldn't walk in. So we had like standing people around. And then other people, unfortunately, couldn't walk in, so we had to turn people down. And it's sad when you do a movie, you want everybody that can enjoy it. And we actually didn't win Best Documentary. I mean, it went out to another product, which I think deserved it, was really good. But we won Best Producers.
Right.
We were the best producers. We won the Best Producer Award for the Beverly Hills Film Festival. We were surprised to win that. There were some big movies in competition, but the judge, selected us because, putting that documentary was very, very complicated, to say the least. In a good way and a bad way.
And I have to give you a lot of credit, because again, it's very hard to do this. So what's going on now? What are you doing in the present time, and what are you going to be doing in the future? What are you looking to do?
Well, first of all, I gotta put that product in the market and have it distributed. I mean, obviously, the best one we'd like to go to is obviously Netflix and all the big streamers. But hey, whoever wants to take the product and, have us the opportunity to have a product in a good setting, a good home, we'll be happy to have it there. And then I don't know, I kind of wanted to do films more, but now that I do documentaries, I'm starting to like doing documentaries more. I mean, it's a different work. It's a more detailed work. You take more time doing the work. There's more research attached to it. So I start to like doing this more. Not that I wouldn't like to do, a regular feature film. I've done a few of these and I had a lot of fun doing them, but I start to like documentaries more and more after doing those two. Yes, for sure.
Yeah, I enjoy them too. I watched one, I forget the name of it. It's been around for a while though, about Sunset Boulevard, and I loved it, And I used to always, growing up, used to always watch documentaries. I enjoyed them, biographies. Then I kind of got away from them, but I'm glad to see that the interest and the love for documentaries are still there because people love to hear a good story, especially when it's a true story. How is it? How are they as individuals? How was it working with Michael and Michael Madsen and Chuck Zito?
It's amazing. Two different personalities, obviously two big personalities. Michael Madsen, honestly, both great guys. Chuck Zito, fantastic guy as well. Different people to work with. Michael Madsen was more like, would leave us do the work and say, listen, do the best you can. Let me take a look at a few things.
Somewhere in this motion picture theater is Michael Madsen.
There's a great childlike quality, like playing cowboys and Indians or playing King of the Hill.
We're gonna do this, or I'll kill you. I might as well.
Michael sort of thrives on the uncertainty of not knowing what's right around the corner.
Michael looked like an actor should on screen.
Al Pacino, years later, explained it to me. He goes, because it really happened. There's a difference between acting and when it really happens, and it happened.
I said, what happened to Michael Madsen?
I was scared to death of my dad. There's a big difference between a spanking and a knockout.
So I thought it would be an interesting thing if he was forced to take it off in the scene.
And I was like, oh God, you mental fucker, you.
And now it's a thing. It's one of the best moments of the movie. It defines my character.
Don't listen to him, he's a crazy man.
I wrote a poem on my leg one time in the back of a taxi cab. If you don't do it right then and there, you'll forget. And then later you go, oh man, and you can't remember. And so you gotta write it right when you're thinking it. Dennis was also a great big influence on me about writing. And he goes, this is really good, man. Man, you should keep writing, man. If somebody like that compliments you, you realize, well, maybe I got something here.
This is what great actors do. They have so much behind their eyes that you know that they've been through a lot. So even though they can be like the tough guy, they can fall helplessly in love. So he had it, man, from the get-go.
If I'm okay with it, we move on. And if I want to change a few things, we'll change them. So it was much difficult to work for different workflow. So we had more freedom to be, having ideas and present it to him, and then he would watch, and then we went along this way. Chuck Zito at the difference is a very, very hands-on guy. And when I mean hands-on guy, is like he's there. He's there editing with you. He's there on every frame. He's there on every picture. He's there on everything because he likes things the way he wants the things to be done. And I respect that, I honestly do. It's kind of a pain in the butt because, you want as a filmmaker, you want the freedom to do the work the way you want and be trusted by the subject. But on the other hand, I kind of respect that because he's there, he's there. He say, listen, I'm coming here in LA. I'm coming here to work. Be ready. We're going to edit 8 hours a day. I said, Chuck, before we edit 8 hours a day, I got to put the infrastructure behind. I got to put the footage behind. And he said, no, I'm coming 9 o'clock. We're going to go to the office. We're going to edit. I said, that's fine. And me and him, we started editing with also the main editor, Ryan. We went to his house too, because we're two editors. I'm doing kind of the offline work and Ryan kind of do the main assembly, and he's like the artistic editor with all the special effects and all the great work that he does. So we kind of went from my editing room to his editing room, so like back and forth. But Chuck would be there all the time. And you know, when you have a guy next to you as imposing, you know, he has that strong presence, and it's hard to say, Chuck, I kind of disagree with this, so you have to kind of negotiate. Again, two completely different personalities. Michael Madsen more less hands-on and more like, hey, Dominique, do your work. I like it. Let me take a look. And Chuck is, no. We got to do it this way, this way, this way. This is the picture here. This is the thing here. And we're going to add this. I said, Chuck, who's the director? Well, you are the director, but this is my documentary. It's my life. I said, I understand that part, Chuck. It's your life, but I'm also the director. You have to trust me. You know, so it's kind of, you know, hey, you have to trust me too. I said, I trust you, Chuck. That's why I'm doing your documentary.
This is what happens when you put too many Italians in one place together. This is what happens.
Yeah, plus, well, here's the thing, though. He doesn't speak Italian, and I tried to teach him. I said, Chuck, come on, man. You got to speak Italian, you know. And then he goes, I don't know. My dad never taught me Italian. You know, I'm Italian, but my dad never taught me Italian. I said, okay, well, I'll try to teach you a few words, but you know, I have to be honest and be serious here. There's something that I admire about him is really when he, I don't know how to use this word, but you know, he's really like focused. He's really focused, and when he wants to get something done, obviously it's gonna be his way, even if we fight about this. But he's really present, and honestly, it's good. It's good. Because I need something is right there. Chuck, can you get me this picture? Chuck, can you get me this? With Madsen, same thing, but sometimes, you know, I would get the material a bit later. So,
right, just two different styles. Yeah. So,
absolutely.
And the thing is too with documentaries now, I never done one, but I know that you obviously you want to show the contrast of a person, right? You want to show their vulnerabilities. And vulnerable is not a word that I think.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Thanks for the question, man. Thanks for the question. Yeah, Chuck Zito, man. He's like showing. I mean, I think Michael Madsen. You know, he cries on the documentary. You know, he's talking about his dad. He's you know, he's at the firehouse, and I don't know if you saw it. Is at the firehouse with the fireman, and he started crying because his dad, you know, reminds his dad when he was in the truck, so he started crying. Which, hey, it's normal. It's human. Yeah, Chuck is a little bit different. Chuck is more like, you know, this is what. So he's I don't like to call it a guarded image, because, you know, he's not like guarded, but you know, this is Chuck. You know, he has a personality that. And I said, Chuck, you know, you have to open up on certain things and make yourself more. The documentary has to be more balanced about yourself. People wants to know about you on also different areas. And we did succeed. I mean, he did accept to go certain route. And there's a beautiful segment, absolutely gorgeous segment that Ryan put together. That was all Ryan. I didn't even edited one segment of that. It's about his wife and his daughter. And for me, that is the best segment of the documentary, because Chuck kind of opens up about a few things that, you know, that's been in his past. And then you know, and he's a little bit emotional on that era. And not that I didn't like all the Hells Angels story and the motorcycle and the acting and all that. That balanced it to make it a little bit more, like you said, balanced. And that's, I'll be honest, my favorite piece of the documentary. Ryan did such a great job in that montage.
Well, I have a confession to make. Chuck Zito told me I have to send this to him after I'm done so he can edit it.
Oh, hey. It is. Hey, welcome to the club, man. Welcome to the club. I mean, it's he's gonna say, no, don't put that. Dominique should have said this. No, I don't know. I think whatever I said is gonna probably be accepted. Stamped and accepted by Chuck Zito.
Right. Certified.
Yeah,
So
certified.
So now let's starting out. How did you start out? I know you were born in Rome. Your family France. Tell us about the beginnings.
So I'm born in Rome in 1967. My mom was an actress, so I grew up in movie sets really young. I was very, very young growing up in movie sets and, roaming movie sets. My mom was an actress and also worked behind the camera. And I traveled a lot because of the films. The youngest memories I remember, I was like 3, and I think I was on that set called Kelly's Heroes. It was a movie with Clint Eastwood, with Telly Savalas, with Donald Sutherland. My mom was working on that set, and it was shot in Umago, the city of Umago, that's in Croatia. And I was there for months. I think I was there I think the shoot it was an MGM movie, I believe. I know it now because I watched it on the logo. It says MGM, but at the time, of course, I didn't know. But I hanged out on that set a lot, and obviously I was around all those actors. I was actually stealing candies from Telly Savalas. He got upset and he went to my mother and said, "Hey, you don't have money to feed your son. He's stealing my candies or whatever," and all those crazy stories. Hanging out with Kiefer Sutherland was on the set too, and we had the same babysitter because Donald was filming, and Kiefer was on the set and ended up being with him all the time. But obviously, we have the same age. He's 3 years old. I'm 3 years old, and we had the same babysitter. I mean, I'm just saying that because that's probably where I kind of wanted to be in the business. Because as being that young, being around cameras and being around films and all that, that's probably what I always wanted to do. But there is also the economical factor about that. It's a very expensive business, or you have to be well connected, and it's a reality of it. Most I'm gonna speak for all the people that I know. Most of us, and even bigger actors, and you have to have an income, and it's hard to make an income in this field unless you are connected with the bigger people, and they provide you jobs, and you're among the biggest agencies, then you'll be set. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, I have 2 kids, I have a mortgage, I have things to pay. So I run a day-to-day business on top of this hobby. Absolutely.
And let's face it, the American lifestyle is not cheap.
Yeah, and the Americans, especially in LA, at the gas at $5.40 a gallon. I mean, it's becoming a disaster here, but it's okay.
But the beauty, again, going back to Los Angeles, Beverly Hills, and different, is the beauty of it is that really is. And I've been out there, lived out there. That is if you are interested in the movie business, there's nowhere better. I mean, New York, sure, they have a very big industry, but in Los Angeles, that's where it all happens,
Yeah, I mean, yes, I know. I mean, yes, because first of all, as a filmmaker, you benefit from the weather. There's a beautiful sky. You can actually don't need. You can film with an iPhone now and probably come up with a professional scene. Not that's the best thing to do, but to the point that the quality of the landscape, the lights, and all that. Plus, you got studios. You can access a lot of facilities, post, actors, crew. Yes, it's definitely an advantage. But again, it's also a disadvantage because you have a lot of competition. Everybody comes here, and like you said, everybody's a director or an actor or part of the industry, and it's not easy. It's not easy, but yeah. Plus the cost of living as well.
So where would you like to see yourself in the future? Any goals coming up? What would you like the next 5-10 years? Where would you like to be?
Well, obviously, I'd like to elevate my work and start working with studios because, they are, let's face it, the best of the best, and they have the biggest facilities and also, the prestige of being part of that environment. But you have to earn the right to be there. You don't work for them. You have to earn the right to be there, and if you do well, and if your work is kind of seen, and you get an opportunity, that's that would be definitely the dream and the goal to reach that level. But again, it's not because you're not there that you cannot enjoy, be a filmmaker. And if I have to continue doing film as a hobby, I will, because it's a passion, and I will still have my camera and I still have my equipment, and I'll keep looking for subjects and interesting thing to do. But yeah, 10 years from now, God bless, we'll see. There's no, sorry.
You're off. I'm sorry to interrupt you. You're off to a great start. I mean, you have some great documentaries that you've completed, and I have very good feeling about what your future is going to look like, because I think that, as with anybody with creative ability, you have to express it. You need to.
Yes. The fact that I have to have completed those 2 projects already a good start, because unfortunately, and I know about other people too, some filmmakers can't even complete their film, and that's very, very common, unfortunately, because of budgets, or because of lack of resources, or things that happens as you went to the process and you couldn't complete it. So so that's already one good things to have done. And then now the second step is for the project to exist, and they have to be seen, to be reviewed and be accepted by the community, and also by the fans. The most important people here are the fans. We're doing this for the fans. When I did the documentary for Michael Madsen or Chuck Zito, I didn't, of course I do it to sell them and to elevate my work, but honestly it's for the fans too. And when the fans like something, then they support your work, and so completing them definitely is a big asset for the next step. But you're not out of the wood yet. You still have to get them out and make sure that the result is good, and keep battling. It's a battle. It's a battle every day, man. That's what I was talking to Ryan about it a few days ago. I said, man, now we have to battle and get distribution and get the contracts done, and on and on, and have Chuck also approve it.
Well, where can people find you?
It's Playmaker Pictures for Instagram, and Dominique Playmaker Pictures for Facebook. Those are the 2 that I use.
And I speak for my audience when I say they enjoy real people like yourself. That's what we like. We like the real people.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm trying to be as real as I can, and continue the battle. It's a day-to-day grinding, day-to-day battle, and let's see where it leads to. But hey, as long as I can fight, I'll give it a good shot.
Well, listen, you're doing a fantastic job. I watched you. I seen what you're capable of doing, and that's why I wanted you on here. And I'm so glad. I appreciate you so much for you coming here and talking to the fans and the guests. And I hope everybody watching out there, please make sure you follow Dominique, support his documentaries, the one with Michael Madsen, and also with Chuck Zito. And listen, it's all over the place on Instagram. You can easily find it and go to his site. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Absolutely.
Hopefully we can cross paths. Who knows? Maybe someday.
Oh yeah, no, please, absolutely. Are you coming to LA often, or?
I think this summer I might make an appearance there. So
cool. I want to come and visit your town. I've visited New York and DC. I haven't visited Philadelphia. I heard a lot of good things about it, and I want to see those steps where Rocky made his movie. That's what I want to see. I'm dying to see that part.
And it's a good community. I think you'll like it. I'll be happy to show you.
Absolutely.
Well, Dominique, it's been a pleasure. Folks, you've been watching director of many beautiful documentaries and more to come. This is Dominique Milano. Thank you again, Dominique, and we will see you again next time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.